I'm Heyzeus, and in this video, we're going to be looking at the complete nightmare that is CSGO trading. Trading is and always has been a complete magnet for clowns and a cesspit that has brought out the absolute worst of humanity, but this also makes it incredibly entertaining. These things are not mutually exclusive, but in the process, it also reveals something about CSGO skins that is kind of amazing, and as we work our way through the various stupid shit in this video, you are going to gradually see what's really going on here. Now, this video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a site where you can quickly and easily trade your CSGO skins. Just log in through Steam, add your trade link, and you're good to go. Trades are extremely simple to do, and once you pick the skins you want, they take just seconds to complete. Any excess will be added to your balance, and you can also use the code ZEUS to get up to $5 off your first trade, and a 5% bonus if you're topping up. Additionally, it's also got regular giveaways on it, so even if you're not trading, there is something here for you. Great site, check it out, link is in the description. So, earlier this year, I got a message from a guy who wanted to sell me an Ursus Ruby. I offered him 90% of its Buff 163 price, the usual rate I offer people, and he fired back with a counter offer that was a bit higher, which is fair enough. But before I could even respond, he stumbled across the price on CS Money. Now, CS Money prices are not real prices. You can't withdraw their balance, and when you deposit on the site, you get a bonus. So again, obviously not real money, but this was way too complicated for homie to understand, and he immediately jumped to the conclusion I was a devious manipulator and began demanding a better price before tying everything off with a cheeky South Park reference. Now, my script for dealing with people like this is basically to say, your prices are wrong, good luck, and don't get scammed. I don't try and convince them to trade at that point, and it seemed like part of the reason this guy got so angry in the first place is that he felt he was being generous. I mean, he was willing to offer me a $500 margin, he was just confused about the actual price of the skin. But when I explained this to him, he immediately fired back by claiming the price on Buff 163 was $2,300, which it wasn't. It just wasn't. That was not what the price was. So at this point, I figured all there was left to do was get a bit of free Twitter clout out of the entire event, even if it got me a Twitter block. But on the whole, this guy did mostly keep his composure. He even slipped in a pop culture reference. Kudos to him. Not everyone you encounter is quite this stable though. Take, for example, this guy Zipple came across who wanted to trade his Bowie Emerald for some other skins. Now, it all started off well. He told Zipple it was an honor to meet him and that he was the expert before humbly offering to trade his Bowie Emerald for a Butterfly Marble Flayed and Sports Gloves Amphibious, a fantastic deal that only would have lost Zipple a minimum of $900. Now, Zipple doesn't do item for item trades, so instead he recommended Bowie Emerald guy try Buff 163. Keep in mind, Zipple literally owns a rival skin site, so he's a really nice guy recommending a competitor because he thinks it's best for this particular dude. And in response, he got this. I take it you created that shitty buff? Whoever created that shit needs to right off. So that's what many of you doggy f***ers are doing, sending people to Buff 163 and ripping them off when buying skins. And by the way, you are so far up your own ass as well. Buff 163 needs to be shut the f*** down. I know what you're doing, you greedy f***ing twat. Showing people Buff 163 prices when buying their skins, you greedy ass mother Toxic, I'll show you toxic, you greedy Hope your Steam account gets banned. Now, you might be wondering who the hell would respond like this, and the answer is a complete fucking lunatic. I tracked down this guy's Twitter and he genuinely is as insane as he sounds. Highlights include him being racist to Gabe follower, boasting that Buff 163 had gone down when it hadn't gone down, and also sending Steam support tickets demanding better odds on his cases because he spent $25,000 on them. Rookie numbers, kid. How someone this unhinged ever managed to get their hands on $30,000 in the first place, I have no idea. But why did both these guys go so ballistic? Well, it's a combination of small brains, large egos, and skins being really complicated. You see, skin prices can be a bit confusing. First of all, there's Steam market prices, then there's third-party market prices, which are lower than that, then there's buff prices, which are even lower than that, and then there's cash prices, which are even lower than that. And this is a huge problem because most players will only ever see one set of prices, and these are the prices on the Steam market. And if no one tells you that the real money value of your skins is less than that, well, you're going to assume that these are the correct prices, and that's not a stupid thing to think either. So when you go to sell your items and you find out that they're only worth 65% of what you thought they were, that is obviously going to suck. And while it's understandable that a lot of people will change their mind about selling at that point, there is also a group of people who have an unfortunate combination of stupidity, arrogance, and entitlement who proceed to have a meltdown thinking that they're being ripped off. Now, this one might be pretty funny, but I want to go back to the trade offer that Bowie Emerald guy made to Zipple. Who in their right mind would make a trade offer like that? Well, tons and tons of people actually. In fact, one of the standard things you will experience as a trader is endless offers from all sorts of people trying to get you to give them shit for no reason. Now, these offers come in a few different types. First of all, we've got the outright beggars. They come in a few flavors. Firstly, there are the annoying beggars. In fairness, he is spitting facts here, you can't argue his point. Then there are the birthday beggars. These are the people who spam everyone with a big inventory saying it's their birthday and hoping to get something. Unfortunately, this particular guy, I forgot my name, isn't Zipple, but you know, mistakes happen. And finally, there are the pathetic beggars, like this guy who is trying to get well over $1,000 of skins out of a trader called Kimir, with the logic being that because Kimir is rich, he is entitled to a cut of the skins that Kimir worked his ass off for. But what about people who try and justify their trade offers with logic that's slightly more advanced than a 5-year-old's? Well, this is where we get to some interesting stuff. The hustlers. Obviously, telling someone you should give me shit because I want it isn't going to work on anyone other than your dad. So some players get innovative. Take this trade offer a trader called Tibeg got. Cut the bullshit. You are upgrading, I'm downgrading, you know the rules, you pay not me. Don't want it? Decline it. Now, if that justification for 20% overpay made no sense to you whatsoever, that's because it doesn't make sense to anybody else either. It is literally some jargon made up by whoever sent this trade. Unfortunately, Alpha Chat Energy and Steam trade messages generally isn't enough to make someone give you 20% overpay, although it does get you mocked on social media. In fairness to this guy though, at least he didn't have a total meltdown when he got told no. Not everyone is quite so composed. Like this guy, Zipple is a market scammer. So what's going on here? Well, long story short, this guy figured out that a set of 0.15 Pandora's box gloves is about twice as expensive as a 0.37 set. So he went to Zipple's stream and tried to trade a set of 0.15 Pandoras for a skin worth 1/5 of the price. His justification? Apparently, only scammers overpay for better conditioned gloves. Shockingly, Zipple was wise to this 7-dimensional upside down underwater chess scheme and said no, resulting in a very badly spelt Steam name and a whole lot of fun for the community on Twitter. But while trying to outright steal from people might not be the best trading strategy out there, a lot of people try it. And this brings us to the final type of trade offer you get, the scammer. Sometimes, these people just try the good old technique known as the lie. Like this guy, who thought he'd try and convince veteran CSGO trader and coder Cantry that his Bayonet Sapphire was only worth $500. Sadly, this scam would fail on account of the fact that Cantry isn't brain dead. And speaking of brain dead, there was also this guy who tried to scam me and a bunch of other content creators by impersonating Anomaly, although didn't work out too well for him at the end of the day. But at this point, you may be noticing a pattern. And the pattern is that there are a lot of people out there willing to humiliate themselves as they desperately try and leech a little bit of profit off anyone they can send a trade offer to. And this is what I think is really interesting. You see, CSGO is actually a bit of a social experiment. This game provides players with a free market and complete anonymity. You can be as shameless and pathetic as you want, and there are zero social consequences. And while some people make their money in this community by finding an edge, a lot of them try and make their money by acting like complete clowns and humiliating themselves. And even though it doesn't work, there is an endless number of people willing to try it. And the result is a community that is something of a horrific nightmare, but also absolutely fucking hilarious at the same time. When there is no risk and a lot of potential rewards, the result is an absolute circus. And I really love being able to look at stuff like this. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your guts. I'm Heyzeus, thanks for watching, see ya.